This week on FMF Unboxed, it's 1 for the money and 2 for the show.
So after blowing several times,
Oh my.
this much is about the best you're gonna get.
That's fine.
Whatever this much is gonna get the best. I don't know if you wanna see
Yeah,
what
yeah, let's practice the splatter.
it's gonna... And then if I aim it right,
All right.
does that look okay?
That looks great.
Yeah. But
So-
then I get in a different angle because of...
Yeah, so we'll probably have you behind Chad because it's supposed to be coming from the back of his head. I have the camera set up and we have all the angles blocked out. It looks like your mark is going to be right here.
Right there.
So if you could aim for that.
Will I be in the way if I'm right here?
That's a good question. Let's look. No, I can't see you there. So I'll cue you.
Okay.
So we'll have you out of the shot and then...
Do we have a...
Yeah, we need something for you to sit on. So now we just need to get the fake blood and water it down a bit because it was a little thick.
Yeah. It hurts my cheeks.
So, oh my. And then we just have the one light over there and we're using a glove on a stick to break up the light.
What the fuck is the mobile version?
You still trying to post this week's episode?
I already posted it.
Oh, dope. Awesome. Stupid mobile version of YouTube.
How's this?
That works.
But how am I in the shot?
I can't...
Can't you move the... Like,
So from this angle I can't see you at all. And from that angle I can't see you at all.
okay.
So
And then...
it's pretty perfect. And then Chad, if, it'd be best if you keep your head low. Yeah, right about there would work. So when you put the gun, blow out your brains. Right about there.
That's not gonna look good.
Well, when you do it, you can lean back. So you pick up the gun and then you lean back and put it to your chin. And as you lean back, that'll motivate the camera, and I'll pan this away. And then I can't see Angela at all, and I can't see you at all.
Hand.
I can only see from here up.
Oh, good. So as long as I keep my shadow down there,
Yeah.
below that line, like, is this okay still?
Yeah,
Can you see me
Oh,
on all
good.
the items on the table?
I can use the
Yeah.
shadow.
So Chad, I can see the shadow of the sunglasses. I can see the shadow of the bottle.
We don't need to shadow the gun.
Yeah, we don't.
And then we move away.
And Angela into position. And whenever you're ready, Angela.
Wow.
That was cool.
Okay.
All right, we did it. Now we gotta clean that wall before it stains.
Oh, it's too late. It's stayed.
It's okay. That's what the sandpaper's for.
So at one point in the video, we knew we were going to use a still photo, but we didn't want to do a traditional like Ken Burns style slideshow or anything like that. So what we did is I actually went into Photoshop here and I cropped the original photo down to 1920 by 1080. So then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my background layer twice. This way, if I screw up, I have an original I can go back to. And then for now, I'm just going to go ahead and hide the layers I'm not working on. And I'm going to take this middle layer here, and that's going to become my new background. So I'm going to go ahead and use the clone stamp tool here. I'm going to make sure my flow is somewhere around 22%. And I'm just going to sample some points and start painting in a new background. Since the background is already out of focus to begin with, I don't have to be super precise. I just kind of have to get the general idea across. Once I have my background painted in, I'm just going to go ahead and take all my clone stamp layers and group them together. I'm then going to go ahead and make my top layer visible, and I'm going to cut out the hands from the background here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a layer mask, and then I'm just going to put a bright color underneath it to help me see what I'm painting out. And I'm just going to go ahead in here and paint black just on my layer mask. I don't have to be super precise here, just close enough for it to work. And then I'm going to make a copy of that layer, flatten it down, and then bring everything into After Effects. So then I'm just going to go ahead and create a new After Effects comp and bring in our 2 new layers here. And I'm just going to stack them on top of each other, our new background and our hands by themselves. And I'm just going to turn 3D on for all the layers, and I'm going to add a new camera. So then if we look at a top-down view, we can kind of see in 3D what's going on here. I'm just arranging my 2 images here in a 3D perspective. So I'm pushing the background further away from the hands. I'm making the background a little bit larger, putting some distance between the layers and the camera. And then I'm just going to go ahead and look at what the camera is seeing and line everything up the way I like. And then what I can do is once everything is lined up, I can go ahead and take the camera and actually animate a camera move here. And what that'll do is with the distance between the 2 layers, it's going to create some parallaxing so that way, rather than just a Ken Burns pan and zoom, we actually get some nice parallax scrolling here. It's a subtle effect, but it works so much better in my opinion, especially for this piece here. I actually also did this effect in the Louis Wayne episode, Bad Cats and Bad Luck. And that's how we did it, which means it's time for Q&A. This week's question comes from B for Bandana. B wants to know, what kind of camera do you use to get such cinematic shots? That's a great question, B. And tell you what, I'm going to throw it over to Future Phil, who's conveniently already cut together a video explaining this. So over the years, there's actually quite a few different cameras we've used in the production of Frosted Minifears. Starting from the top, our main workhorse is a DSLR, the Canon 60D. Sucker shoots great images. You can get nice shallow depth of field, throw a bunch of nice photography lenses on there. It's also great is tons of companies make accessories and gear for them, so you can kit your rig out to your heart's content with whatever you like. Moving down, the next camera we use in our production is a prosumer camcorder, the Canon Vixia G20. It's got manual controls and a cinema mode, so you can still have full control over your image and get some nice shots out of this thing. What's awesome about it is you can switch this sucker into full auto and hand it to somebody who doesn't really know how to work a camera, and they can still get some great images out of it. Since it's got a smaller sensor, you're going to get a much deeper depth of field, so it's going to give you a different look than the DSLR. So depending on what we need, what the shot calls for, we're either reaching for this or we're reaching for the DSLR 9 times out of 10. Next up, we have our action cam, the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition. This sucker's awesome. It's meant to take a beating. You can put it underwater, you can drop it, you can toss it, you can strap it to somebody's head and get some great first-person shots. Next up, we have a couple of cheap HD pocket cams. These are by Kodak, the Play Touch and the Play Sport. I mainly use these for BTS, behind the scenes. You can hand these out to people on set who don't have anything to do, and it keeps them occupied. They shoot behind the scenes, you collect the cameras afterwards. Boom. Super easy, point and shoot. We also use them when we need to be discreet. When we were shooting the first season 2 promo, we actually mounted one of these to a shopping cart and used a shopping cart as a dolly. Shot the entire promo with one of these. That way we weren't drawing a lot of attention in the grocery store that we did not have permission to film in. Last on our list, the cheapest camera we use are cell phones. Cell phone cameras have gotten insanely awesome. In fact, at Sundance recently, one of the breakout films, Tangerine, was shot entirely on an iPhone. So really, in this day and age, whatever camera you can get your hands on is going to work for you, even the one right there in your pocket on your cell phone. Because getting a cinematic image is less about what camera you use and more about what you put in front of that camera. Let me demonstrate. Here's a shot of RoboCop. Static, white background, pretty boring, pretty uninteresting. Shooting this on my cell phone. Now, if we pull RoboCop away from the wall, put some depth behind him, we can take a flashlight and do a simple one-point lighting setup where we give him just a nice backlight. And all of a sudden, just by doing that, our shot comes to life and looks way more cinematic and way more interesting. Never once have I been watching a film and gone, this was clearly shot on a Red Epic. They should have used an Arri Alexa. Doesn't matter. Whatever camera you use is less important than what you're putting in front of it. Thanks, Future Phil. That was super informative. And thanks for your question, B. If you guys have a question you want me to answer on the show, go ahead and leave it in the comments below or shoot us an email to frostedminifears@gmail.com. In the meantime, like, share, favorite this video, and if you haven't already, click subscribe, because on Wednesday, it's an all-new episode of Frosted Minifears, and 1 week from today, I'll show you how we did it on an all-new FMF Unboxed.